Hi everyone. So today is July 4th, and if you're U.S. resident, I just want to wish you a happy Independence Day. It's a great day weather-wise. So I hope you're outside enjoying it. For me, I'm indoors. I just moved. I moved in yesterday, so I'm still unpacking and getting settled in. So I'm not celebrating, but I hope everyone else has a great Independence Day. As many of you know, I'm using this channel to promote my book. I'm also using it to talk about my life, my previous life as a Jehovah's Witness. I'm also using it to talk about social issues and political issues. So today's topic is going to be a political one. All right, so here we go. As many of you know, I'm a big Hillary Clinton fan. I always have been since Bill was president. And so when she lost the 2016 election, I was very disappointed, and I blamed that solely on Comey and his October surprise letter. And I hope she runs again in 2020. I feel that she was robbed of that victory in 2016, and I really hope that she does run again in 2020. I'm a member of a Facebook group. It's a Hillary Clinton 2020 support group, basically. And that's what we talk about, the 2020 election and our hopes that she runs. That's it. Okay. It's an open group, a public group, so anyone can join. And last week, this gentleman posted in the group, and firstly, his post was in all capital letters, which, as you know, is the same as yelling. And his message was, the whole message in general was basically to say that if we don't support and vote for Bernie Sanders in 2020, the same thing that happened in 2016 will happen again. And so the tone of his post it annoyed me only because it was a threatening, coercive tone that, like, you better do this or else, right? And this is supposed to be a free, open election, and yet he's telling us how we must vote. So that was the first thing that annoyed me. The second thing that annoyed me was that, this is a Hillary support group. You know, so if he's not supportive of Hillary Clinton running for president or being president, he should join. All he has to do is go join a Bernie Sanders group. Okay, that threatening voters is not the way to win people over to Bernie Sanders. It really is not. So that was the other thing that annoyed me. And I did respond to his post and let him know it's not this is not the way to do this, and it's inappropriate for him to threaten other voters. Whether by physical violence or whatever, it's not right to threaten voters. Okay, so that's the other thing. That being said, a couple of things I would like to make clear about my feelings on this whole thing, Hillary versus Sanders and the Democratic Party, so forth and so on. First thing I want to make clear, I am a Democrat at heart, which means I am going to vote for whoever wins the primary. It doesn't matter to me. Of course, we all have our preferences, but at the end of the day, I'm going to vote Democratic. That's how I've always voted. And I've said this plenty of times. In 2008, Barack Obama was not my choice. I felt it was a little bit too early for him. I didn't feel he was ready for it. I felt that Clinton was more prepared. Like, she knew what to expect, basically. So I felt she was a little bit more prepared. I felt that Clinton should have gone first, followed by Barack Obama. So, but anyway, but again, when 2008, when Barack Obama won that primary, it wasn't even a question of who I was voting for. I mean, there was no doubt. And as I mentioned, I vote Democratic because at the end of the day, I want a Democrat in the White House. Whether or not that person is my preferred choice or not it takes a back seat. That's not important, you know. So that's my line with the voting. As long as they're Democrat, I can live with it. And the reason why I take that stand is because the Democratic Party is the only party that will look out for low income and middle income families. The Republican Party is only going to take care of the 1%. So if you're not in that 1%, and you're voting for Republicans, you're voting against yourself. You're voting against your own self-interest. They're not going to help you. And so, and that's what they don't. A lot of people don't understand this, but that's how it works. They're not going to look out for you. And if you look at this current administration, then he's not doing anything that helps low income or middle income families. Everything he's done thus far has helped only the 1%. His administration only looks out for the 1%. So again, I really wish that anyone who's voting for these Republicans would think twice about it and look at the issues and the laws that they've passed and see that none of them have helped low income or middle income families. All right, so that's why again that's why I feel so strongly about the Democratic Party, and that's why I'm so protective of it. That being said, one thing that concerns me is that if any candidate tries to divide the Democratic Party or sabotage it or turn, half the party against the other half, that disturbs me because now that our only party that's going to look out for low income and middle income families, now you just destroyed it. So then if you cripple the party, what do we have left? Who do we turn to? Because now you only destroyed the only thing going for us in Washington. So that's why I'm very, protective of it, and that's why I feel very strongly against any candidate that would do that. At the end of the day, the party is the one that helps the average voter. It's not any one particular candidate; it's the party. And you got to keep in mind also something else about this whole thing with the candidate versus the party. Our candidates are all mortal. We are all mortal. We all can die any minute, in an accident, anything can happen to us. So that's why the allegiance to the party is more important than to the candidate, because the party will live on. Even if that candidate should, God forbid, pass away, the party still lives on. The Democratic Party still survives. There are still politicians within that party that can help middle class, low income families. But if you're only willing to bet all everything has to be just this one individual, again, God forbid he dies or she dies, what do you do then? You're going to stop voting? What are you going to do then? I mean, that's why this all or nothing routine that I see in so many Bernie Sanders supporters is very alarming to me. It's very off-putting. It shouldn't, like I said, we should not be putting all of our hopes only on one individual. All right, so that's my primary message for today. Again, I feel very strongly about the Democratic Party and would hope that everyone feels that way. All Democrats feel that way, that they're protective of the party, that they're, that's their first and primary concern, more so than any one individual. And the thing about it is Barack Obama gave a speech a few days ago, and he mentioned that very subject, that the Democratic Party remaining whole and intact and not being divided is paramount. It's very important, and he's exactly 100% right. And that's why he's right, because if the Democratic Party falls apart, whatever chance of low income families and middle income families having laws and people in Washington that can look after them, you now jeopardize it. So we can't take that chance. Our party has to remain whole. It has to remain intact. And so if Bernie Sanders is happening, just by chance happens to see this video, right? It would be so greatly appreciated if you could convey that message to the voters and to discourage them from using threatening language and coercive language for us to vote for you. It would be great to see you say, "Hey, listen, that I'm not authorizing this. I don't stand for this. I don't agree with this." And that's another thing that kind of concerns some of us, is that his silence on the matter makes us wonder: is he asking them to do this? Is he okay with them doing this? Because it's worrisome. It doesn't look good that a politician would be okay with his supporters using this kind of language. And so that's one thing. If you're Bernie Sanders, or I would really appreciate it if you could speak to them about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with healthy debate. I mean, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you why I don't like Hillary Clinton. I don't like this. I don't like," that's fine. But to use threatening language and coercive speech to say, "Well, if you don't vote for my for Bernie Sanders, blah blah," that's not civil. It's not called for. It's inappropriate. I'm a voter. I should be allowed. And that's it. The last piece of the puzzle that drives me insane. Bernie Sanders supporters have the right to vote for him and support him, but they don't extend that same right to others. But if I want to vote for Hillary Clinton, and I have to hear their threats, and that, it's not right. If they have the right to vote for Bernie Sanders, give that same right to Elizabeth Warren, myself, any other Clinton supporter. There may be voters out there that don't like Hillary or Bernie. They want to. Each of us have our own right to choose who we vote for, and so we really need to respect each other's right to say, look, I'm going to support so and so. That's my decision, and we just have to see how it works out. For all we know, it doesn't. It really doesn't matter. Again, at the end of the day, for me, I just need to see a Democrat in the White House. It really doesn't matter to me which one it is. Again, the platform, the Democratic platform is what lives. It is what gets carried out. It doesn't matter which politician is the one that executes it for me. So again, that's just my feelings on the matter. I would really love to hear everyone else's. You feel free to leave comments below. And I just wanted to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.